Welcome to a present from the past.
The show for all your paranormal needs.
Hello and welcome to A Presence from the Past. I'm your host, Weldon, and today's journey we're going to be talking about the Millermore Mansion. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. If you like anything talking about paranormal, hauntings, legends, anything like that, um, definitely might want to check out more of my videos. Right now, I've been focused on Texas legends, and I'm trying to keep that trend going for a little while longer. But I do have other things that I'm going to branch out into, whether it's talking about legends in different areas or different things as it relate to paranormal investigations and how to, some of the equipment that we've used in paranormal investigations and some of those. Just all sorts of things. Anything related to paranormal, I'll discuss it. I'll talk about it. I have no qualms discussing any of that stuff. Um, so once again, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. If you want to see more videos like this, um, if at the end of the video you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see me do other stuff, or you didn't like the video, or you want to give me constructive criticism on anything, please leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to check out my website, Facebook, or Instagram, all apresencefromthepast.com, or a presence from the past. And today's video episode, we're going to be talking about Millermore Mansion. Okay, so Millermore was a mansion that was originally, there was a well-to-do man that had moved down here into the Dallas area, and he was looking to kind of, I guess, show off a little bit. He was a wealthy. He got wealthy with cotton planting, stocks, and all that typical Southern plantation kind of type person. Um, so he moved to Dallas to try and show off some of his wealth. So he built a huge mansion. It, using all the finest woods and everything like that. And it was, at one point, I believe it was the largest mansion in Dallas. Um, while he was living in this mansion, he married, remarried, and married, divorced, remarried 3 times while living there. They never really say what happened to his first wife. I'm assuming she just kind of left and they got a divorce. His second wife, Minerva, died to an illness. Again, we don't know. Could have been yellow fever. Could have been any other, anything else that was kind of going around. Um, and then his third wife, Emma, died in childbirth. Oh, I forgot to give y'all. This was the house was built in 1861, so that gives you a better idea of the time frame of when all this stuff was going on. So after his third wife died in childbirth, I think they said he lived there for a little while longer, than eventually just walked away from it, leaving the mansion abandoned. Um, so many years later, the Founders Gardeners Club, a women's club that was trying to preserve historical places and just preserve history, basically. They bought it and then stored it. I think this was in the 1950s that they bought it. And due to building and other construction problems or things that were going on in that area where it was built at the time, they had to have it deconstructed and put in storage. That's a massive storage bill. Yeah, pardon me, I'm just gonna store my house here, but and it wasn't until 1966 that they were able to gather enough money to purchase a area of land in Old City Park in Dallas, and they had the mansion painstakingly rebuilt on that land. And it was rebuilt to the original specs and everything using the same wood that they'd taken from the house. They even moved the furniture and all the antiques that they found in the house when they found it or took over, bought it, whatever, um, and moved it in with it as well. Um, so that's the history of it. Let's get into the paranormal side of it. Right now, it is being used as kind of a tourist location for people to go and see, you know, the historical side of it and how old the building was and all that, all the fun stuff and interesting stuff as far as history is concerned. Um, Now, people who have been visiting that location um, claim to have strange feelings, being felt like they've been watched. They felt cold spots in certain rooms. Now, that part is particularly interesting because a lot of times you can write off cold spots as, oh, it's a draft, it's a AC unit, it's whatever. The times that they're claiming that they felt a cold spot were during summertime, and this house never had central air. So for you to claim to feel a cold spot in an old house, middle of the day, summertime in Texas, something weird. Something weird's going on. And so yeah, that's one of the most interesting, facts, and that's felt by a lot of people that have gone out there to visit it. People have claimed that they've either heard Minerva or seen Minerva wandering the halls. There's a painting of her that people say it feels like she's following you with her eyes. I know sometimes those optical illusions love to play tricks on your mind, especially when you're looking for something paranormal to happen. Oh, the eyes are moving. Not always the case, but it gives that extra creepiness factor. Um, Now, the most interesting stories, I have a couple of them that really draw my attention. The first one is of a security guard who was closing up one night, and as he was walking away from um, Millermore Mansion, he heard what sounded like a thwap, like it's kind of like a banging or a knocking sound against the outside of the house, and it was on the other side of the house. So he locks the front door, runs around to the back to see what he's looking for, and he's shining his flashlight, and he doesn't see anything until he looks down to see at the ground to kind of see where his footing is, and as he looked down, there's a black crow that's on the ground. And he's kind of looking at it and not making much sense of it when he hears that sound again. It's like a thwap, a loud thump. And right in that same area, another crow hits the ground. So he's looking up to see where this bird hit and looks up at the master bedroom window. And when he looks up there, he sees what looks like a white face looking down at him that fades away quickly. And as he's watching, another bird, thwap, hits that window and falls to the ground. Completely stunned and taken back by this. As he's watching, I think he said a total of about 4 birds hit the window and fell down. Um, pretty pretty creeped him out. He took off, went home shortly after that. I don't know if he ever returned. I don't know if he continues working there for a long period or not. But the second story that I have of the Millermore Mansion, this one I think would raise the hairs on anybody's necks. So the story goes, there was a tour guide there. She's been a long time tour guide there, never had any issues. She had just finished a tour, was escorting everybody out, kind of going around doing her nightly routines of closing the place up, turning lights off, and getting the place ready to lock down. And there was a male employee that was waiting outside for her to finish. And as she's getting ready to walk out the front door to leave, her and the male employee both hear this screeching, screaming, um, almost demonic screams coming from upstairs. And they begin running upstairs to find out what's going on, because she is certain that there's nobody upstairs. She's certain that she cleared the house before locking the door, or before, getting ready to walk out. So they get upstairs, and at that point, the screeching has gotten so loud that even the male, I guess it was a security guard, the male employee was almost ready to turn around and leave. But the tour guide was like, I have to know if somebody's up here. I have to know if someone was left in the house. So they find the source, or at least the room. It was coming from the nursery. They creep up to the door. They open the door ever so slightly, expecting to be bum rushed by God knows what. And as soon as the door swings open, the screeching stops. They look around the room. They don't see anybody in the room. There's no way, anybody could have gotten out of that room except for through them. So where that noise was coming from, they have no idea. So they're like, okay, it is what it is. Maybe it is, a haunted ghost or whatever that's messing with us or whatnot. So let's just close up and get out of here. So they turn the lights off, close the door, start heading back down the stairs, get right around to the front door, and that blood-curdling screeching starts again. And they both turn to look up at the ceiling about where the screams or screeching is coming from. And just as they're about to start heading upstairs, they hear a dragging sound, like something being dragged across the hardwood floor. And both of them stop staring. What is that? And they finally gather up the courage, go upstairs. And as they're rounding, getting to the top of the stairs, they look, and the nursery's door's wide open. They're like, you closed that, right? Yeah, I closed it. You closed it. No, okay. It was closed when we left, right? Yes, it was definitely closed when we went downstairs. Now the door stands open. And so they kind of creep up to the door. They're looking around. Huh. The crib's no longer here. What do you mean? The crib's no longer here. The crib is no longer in the room, the nursery room, where it was. It's not possible. It was just in here 2 minutes ago when we came up here and looked for the other son. Well, it's not here now. They look down on the floor and they see drag marks, scratches in the hardwood floor. And they kind of lead towards the master bedroom. So they follow these drag marks. and go over to the door. They open up the door. And as they're looking into the master bedroom, there sits the baby crib right next to the master bed. The male employee steps into the master bedroom, reaches over to grab the crib. He's got this anxiety just building into him, and he's about to grab his crib and take it back to the nursery room. The nice tour guide reaches out, stops him, and says, "Nope, we're going to leave it right there." They turn around, turned off the lights, closed the doors, locked up, and left. Supposedly, that was the last time that anybody had heard that screeching sound. And it almost like the baby crying for its mother and the mother screeching to get to her baby. So make of it what you will. That was the second story from the Millermore Mansion, and to me, the creepiest story. Anything involving children, anything involving, a mother's love for a child, that stuff can get pretty crazy pretty quick. So I think that's it for today's video. If you like this, please hit the like button down below. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button down below. Feel free to check out my website, my Facebook, or my Instagram. All of them are presents from the past. If you didn't like the video, leave me a comment down below. If you really liked the video, leave me a comment down below. If you just want to say hi, leave a comment down below. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Y'all have a good one.